Hello, guys. Welcome to the podcast, Notes from My Journal, a space where I share life experiences, good food, and travels, and anything in between. Something can always pop up and we learn from it, right? So, these are the things we'll be discussing together, and I want you to come along. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the 10th episode of Notes from My Journal with Faye. And it's actually the last for this season. Oh, we made it, guys. We made it, y'all. Thank God that we are here, and I appreciate you for listening from episode 1, from day 1. I see you. If you remember, in the beginning, I used to say episode 1, episode 2, and then after a while, we continued the podcast, and now we're on episode 10. Please ignore how I'm speaking. I have a terrible toothache. I don't know who still has toothache in their 30s, but yeah, I think I'm one of them. Yeah, so this episode, we'll be having a conversation of the old operating system. I'm sure you might wonder, what do you mean by the old operating system? Well, everyone has a dynamic analytics, I would say, like not like Instagram, but yeah, you get what I mean. We all have how we operate based on life past experiences, based on environmental shaping, and based on what we perceive the future would be, right? So when I say the old operating system, well, this particular word or sentence, old operating system, my younger brother is fond of saying it, the old operating system, the new operating system, how to navigate both or switch to one or the other. And I remember when in one of our conversations, we used to talk about how a child absorbs everything around him or her till he gets to the age of 7. Anything after that is just a replay, or a modification. So basically, the old operating system is everything we've formed to be a human between the span of 0 years to 7 years old. A man once said in one of a video, give me a child of 7-year-old and I'll tell you the man who is going to be in the future. Isn't that correct? So I'll dive into the journal reading for today, and then we'll have a conversation after it. Let's go. The old operating system. The old operating system, do we ever really switch to the new one? It's sad that it's said that it takes 7 years of a child to build an operating system, absorbing all the information around them for those years. Anything after that is just replays of what have been absorbed. Does that not make it hard to change who we are or who we have been over all the years? Are we all just modifying and editing ourselves to be better versions from our operating system? So many questions, but we all come to a simple answer. We are all flawed and always will be in this system of things. However, we liberate ourselves when we become aware of ourselves, our traits, behaviors, and patterns. The beauty is in the knowing. It's in the awareness of wanting to do better and actually doing so. It's in the knowing that will take forever to keep discovering oneself and healing for one's past. It's the awareness of knowing there's no destination. It's basically a journey, and the beauty is in the dance, a lifelong dance. This is a very short one, but it's deep. it's deep, I would say, to come to this conclusion that our self-awareness is a journey and it's a lifelong dance. Self-healing as well, and there's no ending. You always keep discovering yourself. When you unlock, when you finally get a key of something and learn it, you learn the lesson from an event or a personal trait you need to drop or a personal trait you need to hard. There's a new unlock. There's something unlocked. There's a new unlocked. Like when you play a game and there's something, a new stage is unlocked. Yeah, that's the word. A new stage is unlocked. Yeah. But the beauty of it is it's a dance. Like I wrote here, it's a lifelong, beautiful dance. The moment you become aware, you can't become unaware. It just doesn't work that way. You just become more aware. You realize you don't know all in the world, and you keep acquiring knowledge, I would say. And let's go back to this example that I mentioned that I said my brother used to talk about. The 7-year-old. Yeah, he sent me a video one time, and I've also read it somewhere one time about you bringing or showing him a 7-year-old, and he, from observation over a period of time, he can tell you who this person is going to be in the future. So here's the thing. They say the first 7 years of a child is very, very critical. I agree. That's why it's very important for parents to, put as much attention, care, and support that a child needs in those early years. I'm not saying years after are not important, but they are as well as important as the years before. But extra effort should be put in those first 7 years. I mean, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. I kid you not, kids these days who have intentional parents, they know about finances. They do know about how to invest at an early age. Kids those age also are good. Whose parents are intentional, are very aware about their spirituality. Intentional parents who have kids below 7 have kids who understand their emotions. They can tell you why they're crying. They can even, they learn that all emotions are welcomed. You can be sad, you can be hurt. They know these things because their parent has remodeled them for them to understand and be aware about, these important things. Mentally as well, mental awareness. They know about boundaries. They know about not stepping, they know when to say no. They know when they are also they are not forced to do things that they do not want to do, like maybe sharing hugs when they don't want to. And also they have a good interaction with their peers, with adults. It takes intentionality to be able to raise children in this modern world. The moment you know that every child is not a baby, is a child, and a child is a person and should be treated as such, you see them behaving as such as well. So now fast forward into adulthood, we tend to see that most, I'm not saying all, but most adults have some behavioral patterns that you'd expect only kids to have, like adult tantrums, being passive aggressive, as well as we have adults who are aware, not like they're perfect, but they're aware of things that worked in the past but don't longer serve them anymore. They've worked on becoming the best version of themselves. Now the question is, do we really switch to a new operating system, or will we just remodify the old one? Well, in my opinion, we can go back to our early years to start trying to be who we are now because of what we've learned as an adult. That's not gonna work. But what we can definitely do, and we always do, however, we're all imperfect, but there's perfection in imperfection, right? We always should be aware of our interaction with ourselves and our people around us. The things we think about, the things we consume, all on social media, the books we read, and everything. These are the things that gradually navigate us into a better version of what we want to be. So, do we completely switch to the new operating system? I would say it's an half and half. It's a dance. Sometimes we will fall short because we are human, and most times we would do things the right way, and that's where the balance comes in. And then we have one more blessing that we can pass it on to another generation, a new remodeling of what we've learned on how to be a better version of ourselves. We have the beauty to do that, whether we have our own child, whether we adopt, whether it's with nieces, nephews, cousins. You never know what word a child will hold on to. We all have things we saw when we were younger that made us make some life changing decisions. Like you say, okay, when I grow up I want to be this, when I grow up I want to be that. You never know, maybe it's one thing you will say to a child that'll change the trajectory of their life forever. I have uncles I've seen in when I was younger who I admired their money management skills, and I also admired their business side of skills, how they had multiple streams of incomes. We would go on holidays in their houses, and I would admire their family dynamic as well. I'd seen things from my dad that I always wanted to model as an adult, which I do. The same with my mom, the same with my grandfather. So you never know. As a young person, we observe people who are adults, and just one sentence, just one action can really change how a younger person would want to inculcate something in their adult life. So we have the beauty of remodeling the generation that comes after us, and also the beauty of being the better version of ourselves. Not like we're bad people or good people. There's nothing like that. We're just humans who try to do adulting the right way. And trust me, adulting is a scam. I remember when I was younger and I used to see people in their 20s. They look so, well put together, collected, and I'm like, I can't wait to grow up. Oh my God. Now I realize everybody was just winging it, and we still are right now. We are the adults we admired yesterday. We're all just winging it at life, and seeing how where the stride takes us, which is also important. So let me see, what else have I discussed in the journal? Oh yeah, there's beauty in the knowing. I kid you not. When you're not aware, or when you don't know, you just live life like on the old operating system. Like you feel like, oh, that's the way I am. Really? Is that how you really are, or is that how you think you are, or you've been told you are? Is this really your patterns, or are these patterns that have been remodeled by you, for you? So it takes a lot of inner work. I'm not gonna lie. To face the darkness and the shadows of yourself, it takes a lot of work. That's why a lot of people might not be ready or there yet to do that kind of inner work. Sometimes circumstances in life will force you to sit down. Sometimes isolation will make you sit down and be like, you know what, let me do this work and let's see where it takes me or leads me. But it takes a lot of willpower personally, and the power to want to seek help, for those who are qualified to lead you and guide you into that journey. Right. So do we ever really switch to the new one? Well, I already mentioned that it's a dance. Sometimes we'll fall short. Sometimes we'll do the best of which we can. So if you work on the new operating system 9 out of 10, I think that's a pass. We can accept 1% of imperfection, but like I also said, it's also beautiful to know that younger people are also looking up to see, and they are observant of how we interact and do our daily activities. You just never know. You can really inspire someone. We were all inspired by one person or the other. This is going to be a short podcast, but I'm so excited that we are here. The final episode of the season 1. We've had guest speakers on, and I'm so grateful for those who created the time to record the podcast with me as guests, and it was so insightful to have them on board. What to expect in season 2? Lots of banter, more interviews, more informative materials that we can all learn from, more notes from my journal. What else? I just feel like season 2 is going to be packed. Like, it's going to be packed. We're going to, come back big and better, and I can't wait for you to listen again. This is like a pilot, of course, and I'm grateful that we got here. We might have a bonus episode here and there. Well, watch out, look out for it. So, on this note, I would like to officially end this season with a nice on a nice note. Whatever you are, whatever you do, always be the best version of yourself, because you're doing it for you and for every other person who's watching. I don't mean watching to see if you're gonna fall, but people who admire your courage to step out of the line and do things that are uniquely aligned to your true self. If you get what I mean? Yeah. And always know that in this life, even when challenges come, the stride will still turn in your favor. Just hang in there. Just hang in there. We've all been through one thing or the other, and we're going through one thing or the other. And we're also happy and excited for the things that we worked so hard for and that we've gotten. But there's always still more on the list to work on. But while we're on this journey, we should be grateful to be here and to know that that's the most important thing, that we are here. Be present, enjoy if you're a nature lover, enjoy nature. If you're a people lover, enjoy people. Have good company. And if you're a traveler like I am as well, I think I love the first two I mentioned. And if you're a traveler, enjoy traveling, soak in all the scenery, have good moments, good laughs with people. If you are a bookworm, I'm a bit of that, but not as high as the other things I mentioned. I love to read, and if you do too, I hope you do dive into books that are entertaining, inspirational, and educative. If you are, whatever you are, enjoy it, be present, and live life. This is Faye signing out of the season 1 of Notes from My Journal with Faye. Until next time, see you in season 2. Mwah.